enjoy the show. The Voice 17104, a station for everyone.
Welcome to Did You Know? Podcast, your host, Richard Utley, dedicated to the African American viewers. The program is aimed to celebrate African American culture and deal with the real and relevant topics that impact the everyday lives of the African American community through frank and insightful dialogue with local and national influencers. Every day, there is another horrible, discouraging news story, directly or indirectly, impacting African Americans. But we need to look at the shining stars in the galaxy of Black America. It is time to tell our story.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Reginald Green. I'll be guest hosting. I also have Tony Stern. Tony Stern will be our guest speaker this evening. I'd like to bring your attention currently right now to Exodus 31, verses 1 through 11. For those of you all who actually read our daily bread, if you don't, please take time to read this, and it gives you daily inspiration. But today was brought to my attention of God's given skills and talents.
Yes, sir.
And those things that we have within our community that we actually need to be expounded on, and people actually knowing where to go, who to speak to. It's enough of the negative energy that's going out there within our community to our youth as well as our adults. So I'm bringing you Tony Stern here to give his story and tell his positive aspects of what he's doing in the community. So if you join us for this next hour, anybody has any questions, comments, feel free to, once you're logged in, to add your comments. Tony Stern, tell them about yourself.
Tony Stern, almost full-time resident of Harrisburg, except for my military experience. I've done baseball, football, a little bit of boxing, community work, which I love doing. The outreach that we have, the opportunities that we have to take full advantage of. I've been invited here, and I've been blessed to be invited here to be a speaker and to share my story. Come from Harrisburg, graduated Harrisburg High in 1984. Went to the military for a few years. Came out of the military, came back to Harrisburg. Looked at Harrisburg and I saw some things that I did not like. Whereas many talk about it, I decided to be a voice of action, not just a voice. I started doing baseball with the Aaron Johnsons of the world, Sterl Pettis. We got Hall Manor back up and going, Mo Self, which took over.
Now I want to stop you right there, good brother. I heard you mention some names. Those are the names of the youth that you had before they became big league, right?
Yeah, well, these are the individuals that I've done things with, Aaron Johnson and the Sterl Pettis. The Sean McCoys had a little bit to do with Parsons, but the thing is, a star is going to shine. But my thing is to add light to the others that didn't make it to those big leagues, because that attention, they need that. So therefore, I love the underdog. I refuse to allow our youth to be wasted, and anything that I can do, I make sure to do. We call it God's work because it is, because we're all God's children. My big thing is to reach out and meet the Reginalds and put voices together, put our hands together, and do the dirty work that nobody else wants to do, but they talk about it. Wow. That being said, I'm not going to say much about me. I just want to talk about what we can do.
Thank you for bringing that out.
Yes.
Now, when you say things that we can sit there and do within our community, let's talk about manhood. What are we doing out there to fulfill the need of our male youth and bring them into a positive stage so they're not out there being caught up with the police in a negative way? They can be positive role models themselves. Do we have the role models that are out there?
The role models, when we're looking at the single family homes.
Okay.
Do they have the village that we used to have?
No,
The
that
village
village
is
is not there.
The village is not in session. There's a lot of single-minded people that look out for themselves. My thing is, when we look at kids and we say, are there any role models? There are a lot of them. There are the youths. As we sit in this room, there are role models out there. There are resources that a lot of people don't understand or fail to find because they're there. We have a lot of excuses and not a lot of reasons. I've told you before, my last name, Stern. This is the one thing. Set the example right now. Those letters mean a lot to me. The examples that we have out here are diminished by some of the music,
Yes.
some of the, as we used to say, the old heads that put you under their wing. You can't fly under broken wings.
No, you can't.
You know, so therefore we have to lend a voice and not surrender.
Yes, sir.
Because there are a lot of people who have given up on our children. I refuse.
That's good, sir.
I refuse. Everybody who might know of me knows I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to mean what I say when I say it. And if some hearts get broken or some feelings get hurt, I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Yes.
We need this.
Yes, sir.
We talk about saving our kids. Well, I'll say this. We talk about saving our kids, but we leave out the main person, God.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So when we talk about that, we may not be perfect examples because
Speak
nobody's
on it.
perfect. But God knows what we're here for, and He's given me a job, and He's given me a task that I will not let go. We definitely need to be leaders,
Yes.
Sir. Yes.
but in order to be a leader, you have to know how to lead
That's good.
and not afraid to follow at the same time. But be careful who you follow.
Yes.
You know, some people say, well, I pray, and I don't hear nothing. Well, let me say this, I say this a lot.
Yes, sir.
The teacher is always quiet during a test,
Oh, my.
and he's already given you the information to go forward.
Praise Him.
Use it before you lose it. Give it to somebody. As we spoke earlier before the show, there have been many things regurgitated from myself, and it's all about people. The Cecil Whites of Northeast League, and you know, I make sure to give. I'm not going to force feed you, but I'm going to put it in your pocket, and hopefully that seed develops and you use it later.
Yes.
And that's where I'm at on that. Because when it comes to manhood, as we said earlier, how can you know a man if you've never seen one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, now we're in that season. And God gave us the seasons. You have your winter, your spring, your summer, your fall. All of those things represent something. Because during the winter, that is your time right there to live on what you have cultivated and harvested through the spring, summer, and fall.
Mm-hmm.
As for me and my age at this moment, I realize, I know for a fact God has blessed me to be in my winter season.
Mama.
My winter season right here is a blessing, a positive blessing that I see. Because there's not many people can look at their children. I have 5 kids that run around. And I'm proud of all of them.
Yes.
And I know everybody, each one of them have their own little talent and one thing that they can sit there and do themselves.
Wow.
And they do it well.
That's good.
They do it well. They may not always get along, may not see eye to eye. Sometimes they don't see eye to eye what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
But I know the seeds that were planted now have been cultivated and are being harvested. And I'm very appreciative of that.
You have to be.
I am. So
Applaud yourself.
I can't applaud myself. This is a blessing from God, and
Yes.
I have to realize that.
Oh, my.
It's not anything that I've done. We talked about this earlier, Brother Stern. We talked about forerunners.
Yes.
Everybody sitting around, they want to say, okay, well, guess what? What happened? Why are our kids out here running the streets and running wild? Well, look, but that's on us. That Generation X.
Oh, my.
It takes 3 generations to ruin something and 3 generations to build it back up.
Yes.
Wow.
Our parents and grandparents went through the real struggle. So everybody's around here born through 70s, going all the way through. We're the third generation that came through where things were given to us.
Wow, wow, wow.
And when things are given to you, you don't really appreciate it because you haven't had that struggle to get to it.
My, 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 my.
I'm a 60s baby.
We got to get back into that situation of teaching, okay, this is the struggle. And these are the lean years that we're coming up through right now. And our youth are going to see this. They are definitely going to see it. And I pray that we have people like yourself and the others that are out there. I every so often I speak to a young lady out of Stilton. I won't mention her name, but I know she's trying to get a youth rec league up for soccer. Those positive things to get those kids out of the streets and do something that's positive they can actually see. And I'm praying that becomes a bountiful thing. That's something that they can sit there and scale on to get it going. You talked about opening up a foundation yourself to get things going back into the community for the youth. You also do the coaching and stuff that you say, right?
I'm coaching at the
Tell
high
me
school.
about the coaching and give me an example. You have these youth that are coming out there, and I know you have a lot of parents that come there and they drop the kids off because some a lot of people who like to see it as mini adult daycare.
Yes.
It's
yes.
an additional time I don't have to be with my child. But at least they're blessed enough to have somebody that's positive, such as yourself, that's going to be there and still guide them in the right way. So tell me about the sports and stuff that you're sitting there coaching right now. Because I love to hear it. Every time you come in, you got a story to tell.
Oh, yeah. The thing about the babysitting aspect of things.
Yes.
And I tell parents all the time, I understand you have some things to do, but there's nothing like your son. I played baseball, football, no football, most baseball and boxing here in Harrisburg. There's nothing like your child being able to look at you, look up in those stands and seeing you applaud them, and applaud them not only in their victories, but what they used to call a loss, we now call a lesson.
Yes.
So therefore, they need to see you there. They need that support. I used to tell coaches, and well, I won't say I used to, I tell them, I want to cut this kid because that kid, oh, he's so bad. So I tell them, go look in the mirror, first of all, and remember that child that you used to be. And I lend this to them. I would like you to take that child home.
Yes.
Take that child home, and I want you to ask to use the bathroom. They say, why? Bathroom's usually upstairs. Walk through that child's life he sees other than the 2, 3, or 4 hours that we have him.
Yes.
When you're done with that, come back and see me the next day. In 99.9, they changed their mind about cutting that kid because we are love to that kid, no matter how hard, how much we put our foot down. That kid comes back for a reason.
Yes.
And that's because they want to have that love. They want to have that structure. And we are structure.
Yes, sir.
You know, so when you come to coach with me, trust and believe, we're going to coach. And I coach sports, but my thing with my coaches, I tell them, I teach life skills through sports. They're going to send you into the workforce. They're going to tell you about letdowns. They're going to tell you about victories. And the poem F says, treat imposters both the same, the victory and the loss. Because sometimes you thought you won. Ask Ali when he fought Frazier. There was no winner in that fight when they came out of that fight.
Nope.
Because they were both hurting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the babysitting, I'll take that. Because what that kid might not be getting, I'm willing to give.
Yes.
I have one child, biologically. I have 4 others, 2 through marriage, 2 others. Those are my children.
Sure, sure.
And I fed them everything I have. And that didn't come from the grocery store.
Oh, my, sir.
So, you know, I'm proud to say, and my son is also. My youngest son is 23 years old. And he said something profound to me the one day we were driving. Mind you, my son is a virgin at 23.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
That's what's up.
That's something to
Save
behold right
yourself.
there.
Yes, sir.
So we are riding, and he said, we're having our conversation, and he says, Dad, this is the thing. And hear what I say. I don't want to have a gift by a mistake.
Wow, wow, wow.
I pulled over.
Those powerful words right there.
Yes.
That's good,
Those
that's good,
are
that's
powerful
good.
words.
So I don't want to have a gift, not by mistake, just by mistake, but by a mistake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I told him, I said, one letter of the alphabet I've always taught him. You're an individual. And I'm so proud to have you as a son.
That's good.
Yes.
Sir.
And to speak those words, again, that's the regurgitation of what he was fed.
Yes.
And I'm proud of that. So when it comes to those sports and those kids coming to the ballpark, I'm at the high school now. Unbelievable that some of the things that I've got kids that have not played baseball. And the parent says, well, you cut my son. I said, no, ma'am. For the safety of your son, I cannot have him on the team because
Yes.
these are young adults throwing a ball or hitting a ball. So therefore, I can give you an extension of me where we can hold camps and they can learn.
Work on the skill sets before you come out there.
But I would ask the parent now, what have you been doing to
Yes.
prepare him for this?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm willing to help, but I just met your son. So now you have to tell me why he doesn't know certain things. But I'm willing to help. And that helping hand will never stop reaching out.
Wow, wow, wow.
The stories I have, they're heartbreaking, some of them, but I refuse to allow a child to fail because I will let them know a lot of the kids that I have, I'm so proud of them, what they've done. They were said that they wouldn't make it out of projects. I met them when they came to Camp Hill Prison. And I was a different type of CO. I have a lot of COs that did not like me.
But you were
of the way.
respected CO.
You
The
go-
respected time came there, and it
yeah,
shows.
you're definitely going to respect me.
You can you can hold your head up when you walk in that prison. When you retire, you still hold your head up walking the streets.
I have inmates that see me out here and they give me hugs. I meet their families and they thank me for what I fed them in those hard times.
Yes.
This ain't the end unless you want it to be.
That's good, sir.
Sometimes even when you want it to be, it still ain't the end because
Wow, wow.
there's a plan for you.
Yes, sir.
There's
Yes,
a plan for you.
Praise him.
So that's just what I do. That's who I am. And I thank God for it.
Praise him.
Because I didn't ask for this.
Sure.
Me and God talk. I call him G.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm like, G, I didn't ask for this, but as Nike said, just do it. And it's going to get done.
Praise him. Sure.
And it gets done.
Yes, I sit around and thank you for sharing that. And when you sit there and you say that you talk with God,
You have to.
you have to. And I hear a lot of people sit there and say, I'm going to pray about it, I'm going to pray about it. Okay. That's great. Have you had the conversation with your divine leadership?
Wow, wow, wow.
Before you talk to me.
Because I sit there and I hear it all the time and I say, they want to, and I'm going to get on the soapbox for a moment because I have to. I believe in this wholeheartedly. When you are sitting there saying, I'm going to pray, and you are a devout reader of the Bible only taught you one way to pray. Starts out with Our Father.
Wow, wow.
Everything else that you hold with God is a conversation.
Praise him.
If you can't go to your Father with a conversation,
Sure.
we got problems. And people sit there, I can't believe you sit there and say that. No. It is what it is. The word is there. You believe in it or you don't.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I believe in meeting people where they're at, not where I want them to be.
Wow, wow,
Amen.
wow, wow.
You have to do that. My expectations and boundaries may be different from theirs. So I got to see where you fit into my life. You may not even fit into my life. And I'm okay with that. I may not fit into yours. And I'm okay with that. But sooner or later, you're going to find somewhere something positive out there, whether you absorb it or not.
Sure.
You're going to sit back and look. And you see, you have your individuals that end up incarcerated and everything. And they got time to sit there and speak with some of the CEOs such as yourself. And they say, okay, you know what? Let's still learn something. I'm not going to treat you like you're an animal or that you're totally lost because you're getting out of here. That's the thing on rehabilitation. You got to rehabilitate yourself while you're in that incarcerated moment and prior to getting that incarcerated moment.
Yes.
We make judgmental errors throughout life. They're not mistakes.
Sure.
They're judgmental errors.
Wow, wow.
And it could be from bad teaching that you had when you were growing up. Maybe you didn't have the guidance. But we have enough people within this area, such as Richard Utley. We have Chris that's here at the Voice 104 that's out there. Tony Stern, them that are out there. Be able to reach out to these individuals and say, hey, I need some help. Where can I go to for some guidance?
Yes.
I hear a lot of conversations of people that say they want to do something.
Yes.
And I ask them, do you really want to do it? Or are you just talking about it because it sounds good? Here are the resources that you need. I was turning to having an engineer, and I keep saying that I'm so happy that I can sit there and say, I now have an engineer.
Appreciate you.
Because someone turned me on to him. And said, here's a young brother that's over there doing something that's going to fit right into your niche that you're going to need to reach out to people. And I'm happy about that.
That's what's up.
It's a blessing. I run across and I see Tony that's over here, and I say, hey, brother, we keep talking about this. Let's get on there. I got a special opportunity now. Let's get your word up. Let's get your face out there. Let's talk about this. Let them know that there's some places they can sit there and go.
Yes, sir.
The things that they can sit there and do. I want to sit there and see the community that I'm living in. When I say just living, I'm not talking about like Carlisle, Harrisburg, still the community as a whole, the nation as a whole. We got to get back onto mission. The struggle is out there. The opportunity for us to continue the mission is still there. Do not let your mind be bewildered because, okay, I got a position out there. Okay, that position is out there going to take you so long. Who you bringing along with you? Who you bring along with you when you do this?
That's good.
Are you teaching other individuals about what's going on?
Yes.
Or are you just happy that you got your piece of the pie and you're going to go home with it and let your little light shine in your own little corner? What can't nobody see? We got to get out of that.
Yes, sir.
God-given skills and talents. When he gives you a gift, that gift is not for you, it's for somebody else.
Sir,
Be it a financial or a musical blessing, what have you. When I sit here and I see the Our Daily Bread and we go to March 18th insert there, it tells you up front. Okay, Vladimir Horowitz, Von Cliburn, all of them great pianists. They know how to play the piano, but they don't know how to tune it. Somebody got the talent to tune that piano.
Yes, sir, yes,
that's where your coaches come in. That's where your young people come in that's out there being mentors.
Teach.
The old heads that are out there. We're the ones that are out here to tune that piano. So that piano can be played by someone else that understands how to do it. Older generation, we are that tuner. That piano is the current generation, and guess what? That current generation gonna have kids. Those are future players. What are we doing to set them up for success these days?
Success or failure? Which one?
That is it. Success or failure. We need to get into that. We honestly do. So we have a couple things that are going to be coming up within the spring and summer that I want to sit there and put out there right now. I also have a foundation that's out there called Heroes Unheard. Some of you all watch the show, some maybe not, but now you're aware of it. Heroes Unheard. This is one of the Heroes Unheard, which right here, Tony Stern. That is a hero. And whether you want to sit there and accept that, brother, or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to let you know that's what it is. Every time I see you, when I see your son out there, that's a hero. He's not locked up. He's out there. He's appreciative of everything that's done to him. He's sitting there. He's going to schools and doing everything else that needs to be done.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
That's good.
Same likewise.
I do. Like I said, you can sit there. I ain't got to meet him where I think he should be. I need to meet him where he is. And that's a positive place where he's at right now.
Yes.
It's a very positive place, and I love it. I love it. And I want to see the other youth that are out here doing that. I want to see them. So hopefully further on when we are actually, again, hopefully being able to be a guest host, we'll be able to bring some of these youth in here that we can see what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about what they have going on right now because they need to see it. We as old generation, we can sit and talk about it all day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same as hearing it from one of your peers. Your peers got to be out there and they got to hear it. They need to know there's hope for them. What I do is go down to D.C. twice a year, and I walk the halls of Congress. And I'm just thrown back by the youth that we have, the people of color that are walking through there as interns.
Yes, sir. Flabbergasted.
I am. But when you come through here, and I ask the kids out through here, through Harrisburg, that live actually in Harrisburg, have you ever walked through your own Capitol building? Do you know that it's number 3 in the nation for architectural beauty? Goes D.C., Ohio, and Harrisburg. No, I haven't, Mr. Green. I hadn't seen it. Well, let's get through there and see it. Do you know who your local representative is? I challenge you all to get out there and find out who your local representative is. Speak to them.
Utilize them.
If there's something that you see that you want done in your town, that you want something to actually really see flourish, go speak to them. Ask them, what are you voting on? What are you supporting? What do we have? What do I need to do to get to that next level for my community? It's out there for you. And if you don't know who they are, again, I challenge you all to go find out who it is. Don't wait till the storm comes, then go asking for help. Be prepared before the storm gets there.
That phone is used so much.
Yes.
And when you say you don't know, I will tell you, you have the Encyclopedia Britannica right there. You have every resource that you need in there. And if you have an issue finding it, that's where the resources around you come in.
Yes.
Because they're there. They're there. There's no reason that you should not know. And
There is.
There's no reason you should not know.
There's none whatsoever. They can Google everything else.
Yes.
Oh
Well,
my.
a lot of the judgment, as you spoke about, though, when I worked over at the prison, I used to tell the COs, you said this, that, about that inmate. But you judged him not knowing what resources he might not have had,
Correct.
where he comes from. You know, inmates used to tell me, oh man, I don't like that CO. I said, wait a minute, you told me you and God get along. So what did God tell you to do about who you speak, who you see as your enemy? And I need you to go back and I need you to pray for your enemy, because that's what, if you're going to read that book, I posted something today and it said being the center, letting God be the center of you.
Yes,
Because everything goes through the center. If he's on the left or right, something's being missed. Put him in the center.
Yes.
He is there. Somebody told me, well, I feel bad about asking God why. It's not about asking God why. It's about how you ask him. If you ask God why, and you ask him in a manner in which you need to know, because Doubting Thomas for me was not a doubter. Doubting Thomas had been done wrong here, there, and everywhere.
Sure.
So Doubting Thomas just said, show me. And what happened after he showed him? Job got done, okay?
Right.
Job got done.
He been let down so much.
They called me Gideon. They say, you fight this, you fight that. Gideon fought for God.
Yes.
So you can call me Gideon,
Praise him.
because my fight is from him. And he gave me a job to do, and it will be done.
That's what's up.
Yes.
You know, we see each other almost on a daily basis at times, and you've heard my conversation. You know how I speak. I'm coming at you.
It's abrupt and to the point, and people gotta appreciate it and walk away from it,
Yes,
because
I'm coming at you because
Yes, sir.
you can't be mad.
I can't beat around the bush,
Sure.
because I have something to give, and if I take you this way and you should have went straight,
Yes, yes.
I'm doing you an injustice.
Most definitely.
So,
Most definitely. Those are things that you really can't be mad about.
No.
I looked at the thing and I got people come in and I say, they look at me and they say, well, why can't you be upset about what that person said about you? I don't care. I don't care whether it's negative or not. I really don't, brother. And I cannot be upset about it, because I live my life in a way where if it is factual, I got to tell that person thank you for calling me out on it. I ain't to straighten my ways. If it's a lie, the truth don't need a defense.
Right.
And I'm going to continue to walk the way that I'm walking. And they got to get between themselves and their God to deal with that.
My.
That's the reality of it. No one has a real true outcome to say, I'm upset, I'm mad. What you mad about?
Wow.
If they lied on you, so what? That means you got a hater. And if you're walking around life without haters,
You ain't doing that.
you're not doing right.
You ain't doing that.
Nothing significant.
You should be looking for a hater every day.
You don't have
Every
to look
day.
for it.
They'll show themselves.
Yeah, he'll go look.
They'll show themselves. You're right. You ain't got to live with them to show themselves. But if they're calling you out on something that you
Yes,
know
sir.
is wrong,
Yes, sir. Yes.
you have no right to be upset. Accept it. Thank you for calling me out, because I've been hanging around some people that hadn't called me out on it.
Mm-hmm.
And allowed this to go on. So they're actually looking for my detriment, my downfall.
Right.
So now I need to get myself together and do it the right way.
They're either praying for you or praying on you.
That's it.
My mind.
That's it. Say it again. Praying for you or doing what?
Praying
Praying on you.
Praying on you.
And they
That's
spell,
it.
spell two different ways, baby.
Yes, sir.
That is it right there. Most people don't get that, but that's a fact. That is a fact.
That's why I tell people, I look at Facebook and you say, pray for me. They put a praying hand up, they ain't said nothing.
No.
Okay, so
Oh my.
my thing is, when they asked that, I said, first thing first, you know, it's people find it strange because some people know me. You pray for who? I say, I pray for everybody, first of all. But if you ask me to pray for you, you're going to get a prayer.
That's it. I'm going to have a conversation with my divine leader. I'm going to sit there and have that conversation.
Sure.
That praying hand they put up, you just told your business. Now they know your business. That just means, okay, I heard you. You know, you pray over my house for me. They invite the Rev to the house. I bought a new house. Pray for me.
Okay.
So you just had Rev pray for you. Now when Rev leave, devil ain't went nowhere. He said you weak without him.
That's it.
So I'm waiting for him to leave. I'm still coming to get you. So you know, start using that oil that
Yes,
just ain't
sir.
just that's for your forehead, and say that prayer. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you back there.
That is it.
But that's what you need to do.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
people first thing they say, oh, he talking about God. I heard him do this. I heard him do that. Well, don't worry about what you heard me do. I know what you saw me do.
There we go.
I know what you saw me
Now
do.
tell them what you heard. Tell them what you seen. Tell them what you know.
You know, so when it comes to, you know, that prayer thing, I get serious about that.
Yes. As well you should. As
get
well you
serious about
should.
that.
And everyone else, they should be doing the same thing and being serious about it. It's time out of us sitting around here being bad examples and bad stewards of things that's been given to
Oh
us.
my.
Well, the big thing about a lot of what you just
Sure.
said, though, is, and I tell people, you don't raise your voice till it happens to somebody you love.
There we
My
go.
mind. Oh
So if
my.
you reach out to somebody that you don't even know, maybe that's the person that did something to the person you love. If you reached out to them, maybe it might not have happened. But regardless of anything, I reach out to everybody. I love kids.
Mm-hmm.
I love kids because, see, adults know the difference. Kids sometimes don't.
No.
And that is a reason not the adults make excuses. Kids have a reason. They did. If they didn't know,
They did.
why don't they know?
I'm okay with them being ignorant. I just don't want stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance you can cure with education. Stupidity, you cannot.
Insanity, same thing over and over again, expecting
Yes.
different outcomes.
Yes. And that is not what we need to keep procrastinating through
Our-
our culture.
Our kids don't, and I look at it up at the high school. I look at it in the streets, supermarkets. They don't hear enough positivity.
No.
The words that some of the parents call their children, which is definitely not their name.
Mm-hmm.
Young lady said, I don't know why my son cussed like that. I said, you ever listen to you?
Yeah. Kid did it because somebody showed him how to do it.
They emulate what they see.
Yes. Yes.
If it's not wrong, you know, because that do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they gonna do as you say in your presence. But if you think they're not going on the street and do what they want to do as they do, and they don't even know how to do wrong.
Oh, they know.
No, I said as far as how to do wrong, they doing wrong just because it's natural.
Yes.
It's a natural act. They don't even you know right from wrong.
When
You
they
know
sit there
what?
and say, do as I say, not do as I say, not as I do. Oh yeah, guess what? Because that kid is out there watching that stuff.
Yeah,
That child is out there watching it.
and doing it later.
Parents at the club, child's at the club.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to know, well, why did this happen? Well, what example did you set forth for this person? Instead of being at the club, well, you at the library with them.
What did we talk about when the young girl? What time was it? Had no business out at that time.
No.
So therefore, I'm not blaming your child. Please
No.
introduce me to the parent.
Wow.
The young man who got shot over on the hill. I can only commend his father because he came out and said,
Real man. Real man.
he said, I was working so much trying to do this, that, and the third. He said, I didn't even know my son had that second life.
Yes.
Wow.
But you know what? Where was the village?
My mind.
We got to get
The
back
village,
to the
was
village
doing, the, village was
mentality.
doing, the village was doing this.
The village was on
With a-
demon time.
The village was doing this with a camera.
Wow.
The village got to get back on spiritual
village
time
was
and get
doing
off
that
the
with a
demon
camera.
time.
The phone did.
I just don't understand it. When I was growing up, we didn't have that. When the street lights came
Street
on,
lights,
guess what? Baby, you were home. You was in your front lawn.
You did not want to hear your whole government called from the front porch or the back porch.
Yes.
No, sir.
Yes. And we can't sit there, well, you don't understand those times. No, we're still in the same times. We're a very young country.
Yes.
Very young country. Ain't nothing really happened between
Yes.
the 70s to now, except for disrespect.
It's just the way
Wow.
the way things are done. The examples that are not set.
That is it.
You
The
correct the kid. Oh my goodness. I also my son when he was grade school, high school. I'm the PTA guy. Okay, not a lot of men are running PTAs. So I spent a lot of time at the schools. Parent come up, they had to see me before you talk to the principal.
Yes.
You know, what are you here for, ma'am? Number one, you have pajamas on and a rag on your head. What are you here for? What did they do to my baby?
I don't know what you do to your
You
baby.
know
What your baby do to them?
You know your baby can be Chucky in disguise.
Yes.
So let me ask you to go home, make yourself presentable, come back, see me, and we'll move forward.
Wow.
And we'll find an answer to what's going on. And we're going to find somehow to fix this.
Yes, your child was down here fighting. You can't dress to fight.
Wow.
So I need to know what's the problem.
With an attitude.
Explain to me why this is going on. And what my child do? The child did what the child was taught.
Wow, boy.
Wait till my mom get here.
A lot of parents don't want to hear that.
Wait till my-
Yeah, wait till
wait
mom
till
get.
my
I
mom
would
get here.
never have said that when I was growing up. Wait.
Oh,
I'm not
that
waiting
bitch
for
had to
anything.
be.
Please don't call. Can we work this out?
I didn't want my mama there.
Don't call her.
Yes.
If my mama left USF and G, I knew it was going to be a
It
problem.
was trouble.
I remember when I was growing up, I had a teacher down there, and I loved my school. And I think I showed y'all my high school. It's a beautiful thing. Thompson Warriors down there through Alabaster. Public school, great program. Everybody knew what their boundaries, expectations, and boundaries were when we were growing up. You didn't sit there and mouth off to a teacher. The teacher's not going to sit there and mouth back off to you. They're going to look at you and say, all right, not a problem. We'll discuss this later. You wasn't looking at no in-school suspension stuff. When they say we'll discuss this later, you being carried home by that teacher in her car. His or her car is driving you home.
That's that village.
And I thought one day that I really got away with it. I thought I did. Mrs. White was gone. I was like, yes. I was late even coming out the school door. I was like, yes, I have made it.
Mm-hmm.
Who was on my couch drinking coffee when I got home? Oh, you didn't know I knew your daddy. And then my mom looked at me like this is a disgusted look. Did you raise your voice in that classroom?
And you better not tell a lie.
Whoa!
Wow.
It's over at that point.
Because if you didn't and she said you did, you did.
Sure.
That's it. It was over. But we've gotten away from that. The same thing. We have gotten away from it, and we're also looking at things I hear programs saying right now that kindergarten. They're looking at kindergarten being scarce right now, coming for the next upcoming up year, where they're going to do half days, even if they have a kindergarten. People gotta realize kindergarten's a privilege. It's not a necessity for your child to attend first grade. So what are we doing right now within our own communities to get things going? Like I said, if you bond together, let me go ahead and start this preschool daycare up over here. We can get this worked out. Now you got a substitute that's in there. You got something that's bridging that gap for you. Figure out what it is.
The division that we have is incredible. And it goes from the youth to the parents, through politics, everything.
Yes.
And until that hole in the wall gets repaired and we start becoming a community, a village again, we're going to remain in the trouble that we're in, and it's going to escalate very fast. The guns out here right now, I never thought, like I said, I was born in 1965. I had never seen such chaos.
No.
You fought. Most people you fought, you ended up friends.
Sure.
Nowadays it's just guns because, like I said, I don't blame the music for everything. It all starts at home.
Yes.
You know,
You can't blame the music because back in the day, they were still screaming the same thing. Be it give peace a chance, or you got somebody, what is it, Jimi Hendrix and all the rest of them out there playing. It's the music. No, it's not. It's not the music that's destroying you. What are you teaching at home?
what is your explanation to your child about the music?
Yes.
I learned this. I was in the car and my son, he puts on the song and I'm looking. I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Oh, yes, that's a cocaine song.
So
I tell my kids about that.
I asked him, I said, do you know what they're talking about? No, Dad, it's just a song. I said, no. Again, don't get me in the vehicle. I'm pulling over. Look up cocaine.
Yes.
It numbs your face and this and that.
Yes.
I'm lending an explanation so that you know, and also you never know who's next to you, who may be wanting to give you an opportunity, that opportunity may be taken away from you, or you allowed that because you singing a song you don't even have any knowledge of.
Yes.
So now let me explain. Now, do you understand? I'm not just going to explain it. Do you understand what I said? Do you understand what this means? And that's why people see, as you know, they see my son, they see me a lot.
Yes.
Great amount of time. That's my shadow. That's my dude.
But they're
That's
learning.
still my son, though.
He's
not
learning.
he's not my friend. I'm his best friend. But I am Dad. I am Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, every moment for me, you know, even in baseball, people, oh, you too hard on him. I said, every moment for me is a teaching moment.
Yes.
Every moment is a teaching moment, and not for just yours. I want everybody, all the kids on the team, come here. I want you to hear this. Because it's obvious it's running rampant, and if nobody stops it once, it's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can stop 2, 3, 4, save one life, you've done a heck of a job.
Yes.
Save one.
Because that one right there is equal to 5.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
bottom line. That one is equal to 5. And I gotta applaud you for what you do with your son, because I sit there and I watch it. The reason I'm so happy about it, because I see a lot of it throughout, not just your son, but my kids as well. They're able to flow through society
Yes.
and hold a conversation. There's people that sit there and they say, "Oh, I can't believe, well, you brought your kids out to here?" Yes. They need to know how to socialize.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What's expected of them when they do go out there? Because when I'm not around them,
Yes, sir. Yes.
I don't need them holding a conversation that's inappropriate.
Shouldn't be held.
I don't need them raising their voice when it's inappropriate. I need them to know what utensils to use when they're sitting at a table.
And speaking out of turn.
Yes.
You don't have a place in that conversation.
My daughters will sit there, and I was so happy for them. I was like, there was a conversation that was going on, and she looked and he's like, "Oh, you just gonna sit?" "Oh, no, ma'am." She said, "You don't have to leave." "Yes, I do."
Mm-hmm.
"This conversation is not for me.
Yes. Inappropriate?
I'll be over here." And it's just it's amazing. I can sit there and send them to the social clubs and be like, "Hey, guess what? You want to go work with your friends? Okay, go ahead." And I'm not embarrassed about it, and I know that they're not gonna act wild.
That is a wonderful thing. And
It is. It's a beautiful thing.
And
to
that
see.
again, like you said to me, I applaud you. I've seen the Facebook. I've seen you out there doing what you do. I've seen you out there with her friends. I've seen you out there with her friends from college, doing things that maybe their parents don't do, can't do, or won't do.
Wow, wow, wow,
So when you extend yourself like that, man,
It's a
it
simple
goes a
things.
long way, though.
I love it.
It
My
goes
daughter
a
can sit
long
there and
way.
call me up at 1 o'clock in the morning and say, "Dad, I need you here right now.
And I'm on my way.
I'm on my way."
wow, wow,
Yes.
wow, wow, wow.
And I get there and I say, "Hey, did y'all call anybody else?" No, we called you.
Wow, wow, wow.
And then when the authorities and stuff are there, okay, we don't keep this at a minimum. You good with that?
I got
You
it.
got no problem with that. Why? Because they understand. These kids make judgmental errors throughout their life. Nobody's out there intentionally trying to screw them over. But if you come down there, why'd you mess with my child for, bro? Oh, let me tell you what I'm messing with your child for, and guess what? You next to go with them.
Yeah. You just made this worse.
You
than
can
it was.
defuse the whole situation. I understand they are going to receive the appropriate punishment, but I don't want to see their life destroyed.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow.
I'm not down there to fight. I'm there to negotiate. I'm out there to get schematic steps.
De-escalate.
That's it.
I don't want it to go further than this. What can I do?
Yes.
What can I be? What can I help you with?
If it happens again, they on their own. And they understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You get one freebie. That's it. After that, we're done. But here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and tell me something positive for the last 3 days that you found joy in.
Oh, in the last 3 days?
Yes.
Well, one thing is my son was having, he feels a little bit of pressure based on he's at Hack for culinary.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the fall dean's list.
Yes, he did.
So he misunderstood some of the assignment he was tasked to do. And he came to me and he told me, he says, "Dad, I messed up. I want to make the dean's list." And I mean, he's really stuck on his dean's list now. And I'm glad for that. So after I told him what he needed to do, he did that. He came back and said, "Dad, I can still make that dean's list."
Yes, you can.
So therefore, that he not only took the information that I gave him, he applied it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "This extra credit's going to help." But if he didn't reach out, he wouldn't have known that.
Yes.
So that was one great thing for me. And to see him come out of that shell that he was in, because he was very upset. Now, with my baseball team, I'll try to make this quick. We had a game. We lost 13-0. And these kids were a little down.
Okay.
5 runs, I call it bookends. 5 runs in the first inning, 5 runs in the 6th inning. So I went back, looked at the scoreboard, and I tried to find small victories in everything. I looked at the scoreboard, I said, okay, this team that I have is not full of superstars. So we looked at the score, I said, 5-5 on the ends. Look at the middle. 0 runs in the 2nd inning. 2 runs in the 3rd inning. 1 run in the next inning. You fought. You didn't give up. In the middle, now they hit the ball in the 5th. Nothing you can do about that. This is baseball. It happens. So those victories there, and we came back to practice. I got a text message, and this was what made it so good. Saturday had a great practice. I get a text message with a video. Like, they knew better to text me. But the kid wanted me to know there were like 7 other kids out there with him. On Sunday,
Getting that practice.
practicing by themselves.
Yes.
The coach. So for me, that's what I call that a paycheck.
Yes, it is.
It's no money there, but it's a paycheck because
Oh, it's money there.
no, I gave it to them and they rocked with it. They, and they wanted me to see it.
I consider that money.
Yeah, and they wanted.
That's collateral in my
well,
future. It's collateral in their future.
We'll
That's
call
money.
it good money.
Yes, good money. That's what they
Now,
call it.
I just left the Senators field. I have a gentleman that his son is younger, 3 years younger than my son, I think. And we've been friends forever. He coaches baseball, football, and his son played today.
Okay.
Mom texted me. I said, I got practice or can't make the game. you know what? You call my coaches. I'm taking a mental day. I need a little bit of. So I showed up at the field. He's catching. He hears my voice and he looks up and I see this really big smile. That's my kid Tanner, great kid. The mom looks, I thought you couldn't make it. Surprise. That is, and that's my family. People say, I go up, son, look at me.
Yes.
And they look up. This little white kid looking up. That's my son. They're all my kids.
Yes.
And he just looks at me, thanks, coach.
Wow.
After the game, I give him a big hug. Love you. Y'all won. Glad you showed up. They told me you wasn't coming. That's a feel good.
Sure.
It is.
Especially when that kid looks up and says, you've been in my life forever.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that that, like I said, the paychecks with no money, but they're paychecks.
Wow.
They fill my heart.
That's good.
You know, those are just 3 things.
That's it.
Now, 4th, I'll give you a 4th one.
Go ahead.
You saw it last night. My baseball bat. That was a me thing.
I was shocked that you didn't bring it here to show it.
Oh, it's
I
in
really
the,
was.
oh, it's in the truck.
Oh, I know.
But no, it's things like that. It's small things.
Yes.
And I always preach those to the kids. It's not the big things in life
Sure.
because, when you look at the small things, you look at a big engine and you say, oh man, that engine, that's a bad engine.
Yes.
Well, I say it's a bad engine, but it's going to sit there without the small things to keep it in place. So you need the small things. No matter how big the big things look, if it wasn't for the small things, it just don't add up.
Yes.
So,
You're right.
Those things, there's so many small things. For me, the knife you gave my son, that you gifted him. He was like, Mr. Reggie, I said, that comes from him seeing you and hearing you and knowing that you have the zeal and the energy and you want to do something positive.
You can't help but support that.
Yes. Yes. And those are the things that like I said, I look at and I try and give these kids. Kid comes back from college. Mm-hmm. I like my watches. Here you go.
That's it.
The kid look at me. I said, open it up. And they look at that watch and they eyes get big. I like my watches. They like them big face watches. This for you, man. Let me give that to you. And they hang on to things like that.
Yes,
you
they
hang
do.
on to memories. And those are the things that make me happy.
All right. And that's what we need to hear.
You got a shirt. I got a shirt. I got to get them made too. I find out who you got. It has a face, a happy face, but underneath of it says, I'm mad. And people look at the happy face and it says, I'm mad. Well, why is he smiling? On the back, the I'm mad stands for I'm making a difference. That's the I'm mad. I play with words all the time.
There we go.
I'm making a difference. And I ask anybody that sees this, hears this, that you go forward and you make a difference somehow.
Yes.
Smile at somebody, say hello, make a difference. And that's where I'm at with that.
All right. Well, I do appreciate you giving us quality time.
I appreciate you, the
Here
invitation.
on, what is it? Did you know?
Hey,
Because we need to know what's going on in the
Yes,
community
sir.
and
Yes,
the
sir.
positive faces that we have out
Yes.
here. That's what I want to see, and that's what I want to bring forward. Now, my foundation, Heroes Unheard,
Yes.
coming up next month. And guess what? My kids down at the campus, and I say my kids because I got my daughter and all her little
all of the
alumni down
others.
there. They all sit there. They're going to come together. We're going to build up Easter baskets for the community. Now, I'm not going to be able to fill the whole community with Easter baskets. I'm not. But we're going to do about 50 or 60 of them for those individuals that are in need. That way the child don't feel left out. And they ain't got to know that, hey, this is a gift. We're going to put a notice out there on my website where the parents can come together and say, hey, I'm in need. Let me help you.
right.
And I got no problem with that. Now, in closing, I'd like to say, again, thank you for your valuable time that you have shared with us and listened to our stories. I want to close out with you with some positive word. Isaiah 61, 1 through 3 and 10 through 11. He has sent me to bestow on them a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair.
Mama.
Let our blessing be unto the reading of His Word.
That is the word of God.
If y'all have any questions, feel like reaching out, feel great. And let Mr. Utley know I'm here to be his host once again if he needs that. I'm here for that. I have people lined up to come and tell their story. People need to hear feel-good stories. They need to know there's somebody they can reach out. If they got through it, that means that next person can get through it today. If you made it through yesterday and today, guess what? Tomorrow it will take care of itself, people.
Yes, sir. It will. Sufficient.
You all have a blessed day. All right, that leaves
Thank
6
you for
minutes on
joining the
this time.
Richard Utley Show on The Voice 17104. We will be here on The Voice 17104 every first and third Tuesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Once again, thanks for viewing. Remember to visit us on
So,
Facebook at Richard
what-
Utley